Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everybody. Oh, I feel so strange. We are in a strange day, in a strange place. We're on a Thursday where we're supposed to be. We're on a day that doesn't matter. It's a normal episode. It's episode, in fact, 276 of Third Shift. Hello, everybody. Yes, it has been a time. It has been strange. We've been all over the place. All sorts of stuff's been going on. But we finally got back to the usual, the normal rigmarole, and I'm happy. It feels good. It feels right.
We're back for like 1 week.
I know, and then it's all screwed up again.
I mean, next week can work, but it traditionally doesn't work. I don't know. It's very weird.
Yes, but for 1 week only, you get a normal episode again until, hey, I don't know when. Probably when January's over is what I'm going to guess. So be glad, be thankful, be happy that we are here on episode 276 of Third Shift. I am, of course, one of the hosts, Mr. Eric. I don't know what my titles are. I never remember. I'm something. I don't know, a lot of things. A bastard, some would say. But to trump it off, we've got the inglorious bastard himself, the man, the taco myth, the taco legend, Mr. Matt. He's here today. He's talking about things. He's got a really beautiful winter background, everybody. Let me tell you, it just warms my heart. I see him out there in the winter wonderland, just ready to go skiing, snowmobiling, camping with family, having a hot chocolate. Matt, is this what you're going to do with your mother and friends, etc. this winter? What are you up to, man?
I think we're probably going to do what you're doing in the background and sit around the fire, except the fire will be just a Christmas tree and a TV because we don't have a fireplace. And then there'll be like over your shoulder, there's like a Katamari Damacy character. The other one. Yep. Yeah. Like the little purple. It looks right like there. One of the cousins. I'm like,
he's right there.
That's clearly exactly what that is. How can Discord say that that's their original character, which is what I'm sure they would say? That's completely untrue.
Untrue.
But you called me the taco master, the taco myth. I actually have been eating like a ton of tacos lately. You get like the little extra fluffy Mission tortillas and just put everything in them because they're so fluffy. I just can't stand it. It's just wonderful.
No matter what you put in them, you just put stuff in them and you just wrap it up and you eat it. It's a taco. That gets an whole nother conversation, Matt. What is a taco? Could I put peanut butter and jelly in a Mission, corn tortilla with like a little bit of cracker sprinkled over the top, maybe something else, maybe a banana? Is that a taco? Because I wrap it up like a taco.
Absolutely you can, because a taco is just a food delivery system. Like you can make vegan tacos, you can make pork tacos, shrimp tacos, you can make vegetarian tacos. Fish tacos. Why not a peanut butter and jelly taco? It's just in a taco.
You're absolutely right. There's a place that has brisket tacos, so doesn't matter.
Here's a better question. I mean, if you put that in a hard shell taco, that would definitely be a taco, right? This is just a soft shell taco. So there you go.
Down. We've solved it.
It's done.
Taco's anything you want it to be, as long as it's delivered in the taco system. It's a taco.
That's right. It's just you can't use rice paper though. That's not a taco.
That's cheating. That's unfair. No.
As for what I've been doing this week, man, it was a packed week for your old buddy Matt, because I didn't say it like 2 episodes ago or however many episodes ago when it started, but from Christmas back like 4 weeks, I've done something every single week. I've had a show or something going on. This was no exception. On Saturday, it was a double whammy. On Saturday, went and saw Hadestown over at the Wharton Center. What a fantastic show. I won't spoil it because I don't like going into musicals knowing anything about them. I like going in completely blind. So for anybody who likes doing that, I'm not going to ruin it for you. But man, what a great show. What great music. What a fantastic story and everything. And it really, I want to say things that would spoil it, but it wraps up really nicely. Like, the story. Once you know what the story is, you know how that story goes. But the way it kind of wraps up the show was fantastic and heartwarming and touching. And I feel like it was even more impactful because I played Hades so much last year. But wow, what a fantastic show. The very next day, I went and saw This Wonderful Life over at the Williamston Theater, which was a one-man show of It's a Wonderful Life, kind of from I am the narrator and an actor portraying this to you and then acting out the scenes too. It was a really cool way of like looking at it, because like he was there and was like, man, I really love this movie and blah, 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 so I'm going to show it to you. And then, like I said, he was kind of the actor, but looking at it from outside like you would, commenting on the characters, and then but also acting as the characters and doing the scene. Really cool. Lots of fun. I love that movie. It's one of my, I don't know, like holiday movie favorites, but when it comes on and I catch it, I gotta watch it because it's a classic and I like it. Speaking of classics that I like, just yesterday, went out to the movie theater. It's been like a week since I've been to the movies. Mom was like, hey, you want to go see a movie? Yes, I do. You want to go see West Side Story? Yes, I do. What a fantastic show. I love West Side Story. I've seen the original 61 movie so many times. I'm sure it's come to the Wharton Center. I've seen it there. Seen it here. I gotta say, it took me a little bit, like maybe 10, 15 minutes to get into it, because I know that original 60s movie so well, and everybody has like the bright colors. Everything's lit up. Everything's colorful and, a 60s musical, big budget musical. Here, everything's a little more realistic. Like the colors are kind of muted. The Jets, instead of, Tony wearing this nice bright yellow coat and Riff wearing his yellow coat and then everybody having their different Technicolor outfits on, they're a lot more muted. They're in darks and whites, and the sharks are a little bit more colorful, but it's still muted like browns and like deep reds. And I went, man, it's not like popping. I want West Side Story to just pop off the screen. And then they started singing, and I went, that's popping off the screen. Oh, everybody's acting is great. All the songs are fantastic. Two of my favorite musical numbers, America, was phenomenal here. It like spills out into the streets. It becomes a big giant dance party. The girl who plays Anita, her dancing is fantastic in that. She's like on fire. She's like, sassy and cool. And then maybe my favorite musical number in the show, G Officer Krupke. In here, it's a little different. It's in a different area, but the way they use that area, like the way that number starts and then it progresses and then the way it ends, it's like, what a great thing I've seen. And it's a fun comedic, musical number anyway. Man, what a great show. I went in with like not low expectations, but moderate expectations. And then halfway through I went, this is awesome. But the thing that's not awesome is apparently it's bombing at the box office. And I looked around. We were at the RPX Theater, the biggest theater they have there. There were two of us there. It was me and it was Mom. Like the whole time I kept, when it would be a quiet like transition scene or something, I'd look around like, is there seriously nobody else in here? Man. But it's a phenomenal show. If anybody likes musicals or West Side Story, it's an awesome adaptation of it. It needs more love. Go out to the theaters and give it some love. It's great.
Is it part of the Marvel universe?
Well, I think it's owned by Disney. So, I mean, technically, it's
in a way, yes. If it ain't part of the Marvel universe, it's probably going to bomb. I don't think anything really is going to survive anymore, Matt, if it isn't part of the Marvel universe.
I mean, you make a valid point. Anything that's not a big franchise, but it's super. It was a super show. It was great and it was fantastic. I mean, I love that story anyway. So even if it wasn't a great adaptation, I would probably still enjoy it. But I loved it. The original movie is so iconic, but these characters are like a different, it's a different slant on it. And I started loving those characters and their faces and their acting and singing. I was like, you're the new Tony. Not that you're going to replace him, but you're the new one. Then on the video game front, because that's what everybody pays to listen to, been playing Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Not nearly as much as I want to, because I want to play that every single day. And switching my hours, I don't have energy or time to do as much of that as I want to. But that is just a delight to get back into. I was just playing right before we got on here, and seeing the goofy characters with their goofy lines and doing fun stuff. It's just a blast. It's great. And then earlier in the week, I did it. I finally did it, and you can't see it because it's not in the show notes for you, unless you reopened them, but you probably didn't. I started playing Halo Infinite, got into the multiplayer, played a few rounds, was absolutely terrible, because I loaded in and it was, what's it called, Slayer, just the team deathmatch mode.
Yeah.
Awful.
Typical.
Horrendous. Loaded in, hey, it was capture the flag. Okay, did a little better, because I can run, I know what to look for and run at and stuff. I did okay. And then it went to, I have no idea what the mode is called, because I don't play Halo. It's not capture. It's not domination. Those are the names of it in anything else. But it's the point capture game mode. Whatever that's called in Halo. You're the Halo guy. You don't even know. But I loaded into a game of that, and I destroyed. Because It's capture, Eric. You and I are awesome at capture.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that one's getting taken. Run. Hey, that one got took,
Run, go.
and now they're taking the other one. So there's nobody at
Go
this
get
one.
it.
Take it. Zoom.
Go
Get
get
it.
it.
Go. Get it. Go. Oh, there's a guy with his back to me. Whap. And then I took your point. Oh, there's people on that point. Grenades, grenades, grenades. Oh, they're running away. Cap the point while they're gone. Boom, 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 boom. We destroyed them. We got a steak-tacular, which is apparently a thing. We got a steak-tacular medal. That was fun. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
There was some other stuff I didn't like about the interface and whatever. We can talk about that another day. That moment was fantastic. And I'm ending my week on that fantastic moment. Yay me, I did it. What about you, Eric? What did you do?
All right. Well, here's the deal, folks. In the real world, I did stuff. Don't know really what. There's one point I do remember, though. My wife's cousin had a birthday party. We got invited to said birthday party, went to said birthday party, and they had decided, oh my goodness, and it brought back so many memories, to order a whole bunch of food from this Tangy Crab, which is this southern seafood place. So we got these 3 giant vats full of butter, garlic, crab legs, shrimp, clams, you name it, crawdad, all that. Then we got one with tangy and one with spicy. These huge vats just filled with, the corn on the cob, the potatoes, and all the different seafood you could ever want. And then we sat at the table and we opened those vats. We had the big, we put on the big old bibs and everything. We got the big old buckets to throw all your, rotten, your crawdad heads in and all your shrimp shells in and all the.
I got to jump in. Did you suck the heads? You got to suck the head. Did you suck the head?
Yes, I attempted to, and it wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Uh-huh.
So I just, after the first one, I said, nah, I'll just stick to that juicy meat that I got to spend 10 minutes getting to in those old crawdads.
Yeah.
And of course, I horrified my children by ripping the crawdad in half, and pulling out all of its innards and head and throwing it into the gut pin and, the usual. And then spending forever, digging around and getting them beautiful, succulent little meats out of the crab legs. And then the easy to do shrimp, you just obviously pop the skins off, throw them in your mouth because they were already deveined. These ones were anyway, because you can order them for a little bit cheaper where they're just whole and you do everything yourself.
Yeah.
But for a little bit extra, they'll go ahead and do the work for you, and all you got to do is get the skin off of them. It just threw me back. I was like, oh my God, I'm back down south. Oh, I'm living in North Carolina again, doing what I do. Oh, having all these wonderful fries going on, all these things, and all these crazy Southern folks doing silly, crazy stuff, because, man, that's what they did. It's here. It's here in Michigan. I can actually do it if I want to. And then, of course, I heard about the prices, and then I went, oh, God, no, I can't do that. It's out of my range. It's above and beyond Eric's means.
It's not above and beyond your means. It's above and beyond your willingness to get in trouble for buying a thing, as opposed to just eating a Mission tortilla with peanut butter and jelly on it and a crumbled up saltine cracker
and some crumbled saltine crackers. That is the ticket. That's the truth.
Now, I will say, I see billboards for this place around town. I get coupons in the little coupon blaster every few weeks. So I always wondered if it was really good. So to hear that it is really good, that's really good. I'm excited to actually try it now.
It is really good. And if you happen to go, you should be like, hey, Eric, you want to go? And I'm like, oh, Matt wants to go have a meeting. We gotta go.
Oh yeah, we could do it in the next couple weeks. Hey, it's the first meeting of the year. Diggity ducks.
Oh, it's such a coincidence. How strange. So that's what happened in real life. Beyond that, as Matt kind of said, we did a shift change. So now I'm back on the 5 a.m. shift at work. And what that means is temporarily, not permanently. I'm only on it for a month anyway. But regardless, the shift makes our whole lives go tipsy-turvy. So I haven't played any video games this week. I don't know what video games are yet. And I'm not going to play them today either because we're doing the show. So it's going to be another day without video games. So it'll be about 5 days with no games. But the Friday and Saturday, I did play Persona 5 Strikers and a little bit of Halo Infinite. That's the 2 games I played in those 2 days that were available to me. 3 or 4 hours of those were on Halo Infinite, but only campaign, mind you. I wasn't playing any of the multiplayer, hence why when you were asking what mode, I'm like, I'm blanking. I don't remember what the modes are. And to be honest with you, back in the day when I was a hardcore Halo fan, it wasn't really for PvP. It was for campaign.
Okay.
I would co-op campaign. We would drink beers and have fun in the barracks, that kind of stuff. It never was really PvP. I would dabble in it, don't get me wrong, but it's never been my shtick. So, with that being said, Halo Infinite's campaign so far, I'm having a great time with. I'm still very early on. I think, like I said, about 3 hours in, so not that far, because there is a whole bunch of, the very first, hey, this is an introduction if you've never played Halo, and here's what's going on, until you even get to anywhere that's actually legitimate in what the game's about. So I've only seen, maybe 7, 8 weapons in the game thus far, 2 or 3 different enemy types. The grunts, as everybody's talking about, are hilarious, are fun. And it's funny because, of course, Aaron Lynn is the individual who did a lot of the writing for the grunts and in many other parts, of course, of Halo Infinite. But he also was the individual responsible for so much fun in Battleborn over on Gearbox side, which you all know that's where we started. That's what we love. We miss it and adore it. And it shines right through. You see it immediately, all the ridiculousness, the stuff that these grunts are saying, you're like, this is straight out of Battleborn. This is straight out of it. And apparently the rest of the world loves it too. And it makes me sad because I'm like, man, if y'all would have just played old Battleborn, given that a shot, you'd have fell in love with that writing. You'd have fell in love with all the characters' crazy antics and talking points, etc., etc. But alas, at least it lives on in spirit. I'll say that.
I was debating because I downloaded it late one night, so I was like, well, I don't really want to get into the campaign because I'm sure there's a big intro, just like you talked about. So I just played some multiplayer, and then, like we had talked about 1 or 2 episodes ago, I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't play the campaign, so when we can co-op it, it'll at least be fresh for me. But now, when I'm in a shooter mood, I think I'm just going to play it, because
I would just do it.
If the grunts are fun and you're doing stuff, I mean, if I fall off of it, then I can just jump back in when the co-op is there and just have some fun with it. So I think I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, I would definitely give it a shot because, as you said, if you fall off, okay, well, guess what? We'll try it again in May when it comes out. Otherwise, you're going to have a great time, and I promise you, this coming up year is stacked with games. So it's going to be definitely one of those iffy years on what the hell gets played and what the hell's going on. It's going to be wild. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. So, of course, Halo Infinite was played. And then, of course, Persona 5 Strikers, I got in there. The last dungeon is huge. Zone after zone after zone after zone after zone. Sequence after sequence, going to this little sub-zone, defeat a boss. I've done all sorts of stuff. Finally, I have done the last calling card. It did the whole, hey, this is your last calling card. Are you sure you're good to go? I've clicked the button. I've gone into the dungeon. I paused it, and that was as far as I got. And now 4 or 5 days later, here we are. I still don't know what's going on because I have not had a chance to play and or touch my games. So I'm hoping to finish it. I don't know. Someday when I can figure out this schedule and we can get a rhythm going, I'm going to finish that game and get back to Scarlet Nexus, which, of course, I'll just quickly say, I want to pull my hair out because it was like, hey, we just gave you guys a free little DLC.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch more Bond episodes and stuff, so you can bond with your fellow Yahoos again and do more things. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do more things.
Yeah.
I just want to finish the game. I don't want more Bond episodes. Oh my gosh! Now I'm going to be in this even longer than the 70 hours I've already put into it. Oh, it never ends. And of course, I'm halfway through Artful Escape. I want to play The Gunk, which just came out on Game Pass for Xbox. And that's another cool indie title I want to get through. And that's going to be probably my last one for the year. So I'll have accomplished the indie title shindig. But I also got to finish Artful Escape. Otherwise, it's not real. So I got stuff to do. And I don't even have a chance to play video games. It's very, very interesting. And of course, if you don't know, Epic Games they just now popped up the screen. Hey, Eric, guess what? There's games for free all Christmas. Every day we're going to give you some games. And on top of that, hey, we're giving you a $10 coupon. Go buy a game. Here's $10 off whatever game you want. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. It's awesome. It's sad, but it's awesome. I'm so excited. What a day. What a year. What a week. I love the Christmas season. Sometimes, especially right now when I get free things, it's wonderful.
So speaking of sad but awesome, you gave me 14 awesome segues. I'm going to go on that one because I am focused on clearing my backlog of games Right now, that's the whole point of what I'm doing. Going back to Great Ace Attorney, trying to clean this up, that up. Here we go, blah 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 blah. But a game came out. It wasn't even last week. It was the week before that. But I didn't even hear about it until the Game Awards, because I was rewatching the Game Awards, and I went, man, I don't really remember this part. And then a game came up, and one of my very favorite things. I've only streamed one game of this type. I like flight combat games. I love Ace Combat, that kind of stuff. And I saw this game. Character was in a spaceship. And that spaceship was flying and ducking and dodging and weaving and shooting and then doing like this cool drift thing. And the space combat looked out of this world incredible. And it was a game called Chorus, which is out as of the 3rd of December for PC, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. It's out for everything, developed by Fish Labs, published by Deep Silver. It's a space combat game that looks so beautiful, so silky smooth, so awesome. And then from what I hear, it's a giant open world space, like open-ended space combat game where, you start in this one area, you're doing story missions, but then you open up new areas of the galaxy to explore. And you can find side missions over there. And some of those side missions, sure, they're just, hey, protect this freighter from the wave of pirates, or go hunt down this other guy over there. But some of them are super deep, long stories that you're going through. And the campaign overall apparently is a super deep, long, story-based campaign as well, because you're playing... I don't want to spoil too much, because I feel like even knowing some of it is a big spoiler, but you're a former member of this cult that's going around doing bad stuff. And you kind of quit, and you went, I can't do this anymore. And you went off and just hid away for a few years, and then now you've joined the resistance, and now you got to kind of get your skills back and get your shit back and do what you're good at for the good guys. And this campaign is like a big giant 30-hour campaign where you're finding out more about your past and these characters' past and the past of the cult and the resistance and all the stuff that's going on. And it's mixed with this beautiful, fast-paced space combat in which not only are you dogfighting or taking out capital ships, flying inside them and shooting stuff inside them, but then you and your ship gets these cool equipment upgrades that allow it to do all kinds of crazy things. There are so many reviews I've seen where they show the ship flying forward and you're about to overtake the enemy, and then you kind of like kick the ship like on the Z-axis as you go flying by, so you're still shooting even as your momentum is taking you away from it. I've never seen any other game do that so well, and it excites me so much because I love that kind of stuff. And then not only can you do crazy stuff with your ship, you, the character, have like special powers. So you can like shoot lightning from out of your ship to disable shields. You can like almost cloak and warp yourself. So like if you're in a big dogfight and you just can't get a beat on this guy, he is just all over you. You go, and you kind of go like intangible, and then, and now you're right on his tail, and you can take him out. This game looks 100% up my alley. It looks so good and so fun. I'm so glad I saw that trailer at the Game Awards so I could look at it here, and that'd be really sad that it's out now and I'm not supposed to spend money on new games because I'm supposed to go through the backlog, but it looks phenomenal. If you like flight combat games, space combat games, if you like open world games, if you like story-based games, get Chorus and tell me how great it is because I want to get it and play it. Oh, man.
I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to break your heart. I'm going to break your heart because I stumbled upon a game today. All right. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, Matt. I don't know if you've taken a peek at this yet or not. It's by Yacht Games, published and developed. It's out now on PC, PlayStation, and the Switch. Not Xbox. Sorry, everybody. But first off, did you see this yet?
When I was looking for a release, right before I saw Chorus, I saw Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, and I went, "What's that?" And it said a blend of this cool platformer and this puzzle, and I went, "I can't know about that either." No.
Yeah, I started watching it, because I've always been interested in Shovel Knight itself. I used to love that type of gameplay, but I'm always just succumbed to the big blockbusters, so I've missed out. And then I saw this one as a release, and I went, oh, Shovel Knight's got a new game. What the hell is it about? Cool. Went and started watching it. I went, oh, Matt needs this is Matt game. This is a Matt game. This ain't an Eric game. I mean, it is an Eric game, but it's a Matt game for sure. Like, this is Matt's game. Okay, you got the whole Tetris thing. The blocks, the enemies, the potions, things falling from the screen, and you've got to clear them before it reaches the top and destroys you. Well, insert Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is you. You are Shovel Knight. Instead of just moving blocks, the blocks, etc., all move on their own. You, as Shovel Knight, have to destroy them using your attacks,
no.
and you have HP.
Oh, no.
So you'll go in there, and these enemies will come down in little blocks, etc., and they have their own unique abilities. So you have to know, like, oh, they've got shields on the right side. I've got to hit them from the top end. You got to jump on the top end. But if you hit them from the right side, they'll hit you. You lose HP. But now potions also drop, so you can go pop a potion, stay alive. But then you got to make sure, oh, look, these four little, these weird little berries, they bind it together. Get rid of them all four at once. That's one quick hit. They're all gone. Then, on top of all that, and these things happening, the bosses, there's boss fights and boss rooms where the bosses come in. They've got their own unique abilities, so they're throwing out bombs, etc. You're dodging bombs on top of trying to hit them and getting their HP, lowered. And all the while, you're collecting gems to get points to buy new abilities and new things to help you in the next level. And, of course, you're trying to find these secret keys within these Tetris-style maps that unlock cool treasures. And, of course, in the midst of all that, you're trying to find all of these secret exits to the levels by being amazing at these puzzle levels and then finding the secret level to get out. And if you do it all in one run, you get the platinum, the big dog trophy that gets you all out. It's crazy. It's wild. I saw about an hour or so of gameplay over the last 2 days of just individuals starting off and getting completely wrecked. Not like understanding how this works. And then you watch the progression of it and how they're like, okay, now I get it. You can just hit single enemies, and you need to, because you've got to keep in control of the battlefield. And mind you, folks, it's not a battlefield. Like I said, it's a Tetris style little level, but in it, you are in a battlefield. You are constantly trying to make sure you're keeping everything afloat. You keeping your potions up so your HP's up, making sure that bad guys don't keep stacking and overwhelm you, watching out for the special characteristics of certain levels where they'll be like one of those these weird snakes that just come tendriling down. And if you just let them go, all of a sudden you're instantly filled. The whole level's gone. So you have to go whack their heads immediately, bust them up so that way they don't, just take over the entire level. It's wild. It's insane. The power-ups, like I said, allow you to, hit faster, hit stronger, get this, get that. Cool abilities that just help you along with the levels. Like I said, the secret exits, etc. You got to find the treasure chests that allow you to get more gems. And then on top of it all, there's like a cool story over, like a little overworld you're going through. So you'll like go to the next thing and I don't like you. You don't like me. Here's what we're doing. Here's what Shovel Knight says. Da 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 da. So you'll progress Shovel Knight's story. If you're into the whole Shovel Knight history and lore, if you've played all the other ones, you get more of it. You get to see what's going on. You get to see some of the cool enemies and folks from the past, and you get to play as them once defeated, I'm sure. I'm not 100% on that, but I know you get to play as them at some point. I'm assuming it's once you beat them. You can go back through as like Plague Knight or whoever the hell joins later. This game looks really cool, really fun. I definitely want to see it and play it myself. As I always tell you, though, whether it will happen, I don't know.
God damn it, Eric. God damn it.
Tell me, it looks good.
Not only does everything you say sound wonderful and fantastic, and this does sound like a Matt game, and I'm going to have to go and watch some of this as soon as I'm done editing the podcast and just drool my entire brain away. Not only that, but this comes at the perfect time, or the imperfectest time, however you want to think about it, because last week, not this week, every now and then I'll boot up the Games Done Quick YouTube channel, because they do speed runs and stuff, and then sometimes they have like a nightly show where someone will do like 3 games, or different runners will do 3 games in a row. And I watched one, it was called Never Before Seen, and it was a speed run of Shovel Knight 100%, then Plague Knight 100%, and then Spectre Knight 100%. And so over that week, I was watching Shovel Knight content every single morning and every single evening as I went through this like 4-hour stream the dude did. And I had that Shovel Knight itch. Like, I've never played it. I've seen people play it. And it's so fantastic and good. And it sounds good. And it looks good. And I know it plays good. So I've already been scratching at my wallet, trying to scratch it open so I can buy Shovel Knight, like, complete edition for myself. And now this is here too. So I'm already itching for it. And now I'm scratching that hand that I was already scratching with. Now I'm scratching that hand to scratch the wallet harder. I can't stand it. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy, Matt. Just go on to Michigan Avenue, do what you got to do. It'll give you the scrap you need. get in the game.
I can 5-finger discount a lot of stuff for work and sell it on eBay. Maybe that's what I'll do.
That's true too.
We got a lot of.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Nobody's gonna notice a whole pallet of envelopes going missing. I could probably get $60 for that.
Oh yeah, definitely, no problem. I don't endorse this message.
Oh, I would never do it. I'm just saying if I was going to do it, that would be something someone could do if they were an immoral and bad person.
Yeah, a bad person for sure. I agree, man. Woo. Man, but of course, speaking of bad people, there's some keys out there in the world for a bad game that we're not going to play again.
It's not a bad game. It's too great of a game.
It's a good game.
That's why we can't play it again. There's shift codes for Golden Keys at Borderlands 2. A fantastic game that we'll never play again, as I always say. Eric is 100% right. We've played it too many damn times. But if you haven't played it too many damn times, hit up the Twitter, the Reddit, the forums, the Instagram. Hit up your preferred shift code provider and get yourself some free loot in a fantastic game. And hey, if you're never going to play Borderlands 2 again, maybe you remember a great character from there. His name is Mr. Torg. Mr. Torg High Five Flexington. He's a real cool guy. Yeah.
What about his mom?
Grandma.
She's cool too. Grandma. There you go. Yeah.
But if you remember them, that person, that your favorite dude right there who's rocking and rolling and meala meow and explosions, he's got his own board game that's going to be coming out. And if you got that extra scratch, if you did not buy my pallet of envelopes, if we went like 50-50 and you still got some money left, you can drop over to Kickstarter. Because the last week, to back Mr. Torg's Arena of Badassery, I think I'm missing a word in there, but it's a board game with all kinds of little minis and Borderlands themed and doing all kinds of stuff. The last week of it is on right now. And they just dropped like the Ultimate Badass package where you get the board game, the expansion, all the stretch goals, which are unlocked if you back it in general ways too. And then a million freaking add-ons. Like, they keep adding more stuff every single day. I can't even keep up with it. They're making like a giant metal, like Truckzilla kind of piece for you to put in the game too. It's ridiculous. If you love Borderlands, if you love board games, if you love cool physical collectibles, check out Mr. Torg's Arena of Badassery on Kickstarter. I backed it first thing, so I have the Waddle Gobbler. I'm going to have a Waddle Gobbler every single Thanksgiving. When you are sad, Eric, and we're doing this podcast, I'm going to pick him up. He's going to be here right here on my desk, right here. I'm going to pick him up and go, you mean this guy right here? Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. Doodle-doodle-doo. And then I'll do the campaign. I'll be like, I'm not even doing the show. I'm just going to do a little Waddle Gobbler campaign right now. Make you sad.
Hey, listen. I did more than you would even have expected me to do. I went to said Kickstarter and I investigated said Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. But I saw the price tag and it was just not, it was out of my reach. It was too far. I can't afford it. It was too far gone.
That's a lie. You can afford it. You just can't afford getting yelled at enough.
I can't afford the trouble that it's going to cost to get this thing that I'm never going to play because I don't have friends and they're never coming over. It just wasn't going to, it's not in the cards.
And see, here's the thing for me is I backed it from the true badass level, which is like 130 or something, where you get the base game, the expansion, and then all the other stuff. But that ultimate badass one with all the things and all the shinies and all the upgrades, it's like $300, but I'm still here scratching because I love Borderlands and I love little things. I'm going to put this whole army of claptraps all over my desk, and then Jim Ferranda will like me more than you because he'll say, "Wow, look, he's the true claptrap fan. He really likes me."
Oh, it's so true. It's so sad. You know, gosh bless it, Matt. And of course, you speak of this, you say these things, and just today, you know, a lot of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands content dropped, Matt.
Yes.
All right? It did. And beyond what we're going to talk about in a second, apparently, what is it? Paladin Mike?
Paladin Mike, yeah.
Was a big shtick. Paladin Mike. A big Battleborn reference. Of course, our friend Jim, you know, played Mr. Mike, Oscar Mike himself in all of his different forms. So an homage, of course, is coming to Tiny Tina's, where Paladin Mike is, of course, in charge of defending all of the realms, et cetera, this and that. But not played by Jim, but played by Karen Strange, played Lorelei, is now playing, of course, Paladin Mike. Super awesome, super cool. It's going to be great to see all this awesomeness. And then, of course, you get these, you know, this badassery from Borderlands 3. You get this whole homage from a game previous to that, Battleborn. And that's not even talking about the 2 brand new awesome things that got released just this, today, afternoon, morning, whatever the hell it was.
That's right. We got 2 new classes in Wonderlands, and I'm sure these are like the starting classes, like the other ones that we saw before that I'm completely blanking on the names of. But now we got to look at the Spell Shot, which is you, Eric. It's the magic-based class where they had 2 hands, 1 fire, 1 ice, shooting out stuff. And then you can polymorph enemies into little flying things. I can't remember what they're called. I'm just going to say sheep'em.
Screebs. Something like that.
They're just sheep. They're just sheep. Just sheep them, Eric. Sheep them. Just like we did in World of Warcraft for one day.
Put the moon on them, you sheep them. Put the moon on them, you sheep them. That's right. What it is.
And then you got my class, which is the Clawbringer, which has a big old hammer. And I looked at it and I went, I don't want to be melee with the big hammer slammer. And then they went, hey, you can throw the hammer and it has AoE, and then you can call the hammer back. And I went, that's pretty cool. And then they went, you also have a little flying pet dragon. And I went, let me see that skill tree so I can see what that flying pet dragon can do. Let him buff me with heals so I can never die. Let him put a healing aura on the ground. Let him be Mr. Beef Jr. just flying over my shoulder instead of running around on the ground. I got so excited for both of these. It's going to be great.
Now, here's the deal. I'm going to be honest with you. I got excited for one of them. I got excited for the Clawbringer. Okay,
yeah, I know.
Throwing the hammer out, bringing it back. Obviously, like David said, not unlike Thor, but
legally distinct from Thor.
Yeah, exactly. Which was humorous and fun, but also just like God of War. Kratos and his hammer coming back to you. Immediately, I went, oh my gosh, that feels good. That sounds good. I want to be part of this. Dragons. Oh my gosh, I got a whole shrine of dragons on my right side over here. I love dragons. And I went, this is amazing. And then the spell shot, and I went, oh my god, they're just shooting fireballs out. I don't like this. This is boring. What are you going to add to this? What can I actually do? I want to see the skill trees, because if it's just a fireball ice bolt, that ain't nothing. That's not fun.
This is going back a ways, but I got to call you out, Eric. God of War Kratos doesn't use a hammer. You said just like Kratos' hammer. He uses an axe, idiot.
Well,
you don't even like that game.
But you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. He throws the gosh dang axe out, and it comes
back.
How do
I, who hate that series no more than you? Come on now.
Listen. Okay, axes, hammers, you know what I'm talking about. You know the deal.
It's a weapon with a handle. It's the same thing.
Yes, and they throw it and it flies back into their hands. It doesn't matter what the weapon is. The whole point is what it does. And it goes out and it comes back. That's what matters.
It's like a boomerang.
Boomerang, but better, because boomerangs are stupid and lame. And, axes and hammers are not.
I got one to come back to me once, and by that time it had already slid through the parking lot, so it was razor sharp, and I went, I ain't catching you! It was great. Yeah. It was beautiful.
I'm in the same boat, 1 or 2 times ever to come back, and it never came back clean anyway. It came back 3 feet over my head, flying to my left or right or whatever.
Mine came straight from my face. It knew what I had done. It knew I spent all afternoon sharpening it up in the parking lot accidentally by screwing it up, and it went, you're paying for this. And I went, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
I'm done. Yeah, you're just a death device.
Yes.
I'm going to pass on you. So I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. I know it is. And I know I'm going to end up being the spell shot because I'm a mage through and through. That's what I do. But I was super, super more excited about the Clawbringer. I just felt like that had way more oomph to it. I just don't think they showcased the spell shot really well. And maybe that's just me, because I'm used to being a mage. I'm used to having polymorph abilities. I'm used to having, fire, ice, lightning, etc. That's all standard. That's all standard operating procedures. I was hoping for something like a big flare, something big and neat and weird and different. And maybe they got it. And I'm hoping they got it, because I'm going to be a spell shot. That's just the way it's going to be.
You just got to think of it not from World of Warcraft perspective or Diablo perspective. Mm-hmm. You got to think of it from Borderlands perspective. How many times have you shot fire from your hands in Borderlands? 0 times. No times. You did it a little bit in Battleborn, times. Maybe. But look, here's a cool thing. How many times did you get to polymorph people in Borderlands? 0 times.
0 times.
How many times in Battleborn? Also 0 times. So that's a cool, fun thing. It's not new to you, the human, but it's new to you, the first-person Gearbox
Borderland
player.
Game.
Yeah.
True. That's true. So I'm sure I'll wrap my head around it. I'm going to get on board. And they're going to show us a whole bunch more. So by the time this game gets closer, I'll be all, I'm spell shot for sure. Oh, look at the build I got. Look at what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going Frost for sure because that's what I am through and through. Frosty McGee with my polymorph abilities. I can't wait. But just in this particular trailer, I will say the Clawbringer really did shine.
Mm-hmm.
That one was really like, oh my gosh, little baby dragon, my friend, my companion, and throwing out my bad mamba jamba hammer, and then come back, and it's got to make that really cool noise. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
What's not to love about that? It's looking good. It's looking sharp. This game can't come soon enough, but God freaking almighty, it is still a million years away because March is like ancient times, especially since February has like 40 games of interest coming out. How are we going to survive it? I don't even know.
Speaking of games of interest, man, it's time to dive right in because the games of the most interest were just last week. The game awards of the most interest. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to get at, listeners. I'm trying to do a segue, okay? Quit calling me out for this stuff. So we saw game awards, and you drank a lot of Jim Beam, and I drank a lot of champagne, and then we had to watch it again because about halfway through, we forgot everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of weird, though, because rewatching it, I made it about 4/5 of the way through, and I was like, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Okay, this is brand new to me. Like Chorus was brand new. But I was like, I remember a lot more of this than I thought I remembered. It's weird how the mind works, you know?
Yeah, I agree, because I did the exact same thing. I went back through and watched all the commercials, all the trailers, and I went, oh, actually, I remember that. And then there was only a couple where I went, oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
But bonus points for me because of my text to you, the couple that I had just completely forgotten about, while I was drinking and texting you, I'd said, oh, this is going to be the best. I can't wait. I'm on board. And then when I watched them, I went, yeah, this is going to be the best. I'm on board. Whatever. Man, I'm so glad that I remember that somehow.
I was going to say
the
two right after I fell off, I think I texted you a couple of them too. And I went, I don't remember what that is at all. And then I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, GTFO is out right now. And it does look really cool. Oh yeah, Blood Hunt does look like maybe the only Battle Royale game I'll ever play ever in my entire life. Oh, so I was right too, but it took me a long time to remember why I was right and what I was right about.
So before we get to the, just some of the stuff we're interested, some of the things we're looking out for this coming year, I do want to say, was there any surprises, like for actual awards, besides the fact that, and this is my opinion, maybe y'all don't agree, maybe you don't agree, Matt, I don't want it to be like old days where like they spent forever, like every developer coming up and accepting every award and everything. But I feel like this one was really like rushed. Like,
yeah,
I totally missed Tales of Arise winning RPG. Like it was a blip. It was just a blip. And it's like, what the hell?
I do agree. I think the one thing they could do to make it better is, I noticed it right away on the pre-show because they were like, hey, we're going to do 4 esports awards. Here are the nominees for Best Esport of the Year or whatever. And then they went, and the winner is blah. They did never list the nominees. And I feel like that makes it feel official when they're like, the nominees are, even if they don't go and do a trailer or do music or something, hey, it's League of Legends, Apex Legends, Dota 2, Valorant, and Call of Duty. And the winner is Call of Duty. Great. I mean, if you were making a sandwich or you were in the restroom, here are the nominees for that. Oh, I can't remember which one it is. Who's on that list? Nobody told me. You just had to see it with your eyeballs. I don't know. It did feel really rushed and quick on that sense. But I will say some of those developer speeches, as I was kind of fast forwarding through to catch the things that I missed, they seemed like they went on forever. So our buddy, Joseph Ferris, at the end, got completely screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching some of those devs just keep going on. And I remember at the time going, this is great, and I love it. And retroactively, I don't love it. That man deserved to be up there for 45 minutes, screaming and yelling and hooting and hollering, doing his thing.
Instead, he ran up, said something, and as he said it, they started to usher him off. So it's just like a wham, bam, all right, it's over. And it just kind of mildly bugged me.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the commercials for all the cool games coming out. I love all the big drops, world premieres. I love all of it. But this is the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. And I am here to see the developer, get their award and get their little minute. It shouldn't be 3-5 minutes, but 1-2 solid minutes of, hey, we here at blah, 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 thank everybody, and we're so excited, we're glad we got this, et cetera, et cetera.
And there's always that one moment, and I don't really remember it from this year, maybe because I kind of buzzed past the speeches as I was rewatching it. But there's always that one dev or that one moment where you can tell they're like really touched by winning this thing, and their team worked super hard, or if it's, best indie game, and that dude slaved away on that personal project for hundreds of hours, and this means the frickin' world to him. I feel like Joseph would have done that at the end, because we saw his tweets about how happy he was for his team and stuff. I feel like we didn't get that this year unless I missed it.
No, we really didn't. There was the one dev that was so nervous that had trouble even talking and stuff. The hugeness of it in front of all those people, etc. But that was about it. Most everything was just quick, boom, boom, boom. Here you go, here you go. The couple devs that did talk, that did their typical spiel, which was awesome. But for the game of the year, I agree. That one, no matter what, should have at least been slotted a decent little time. Here, you get this many minutes, no matter what. Here you go.
Yeah, like game of the year goes live at whatever. If it ended at 11, it goes live at 10:50.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we start saying the stuff, and he gets on stage ideally at 10:55, and he has 5 minutes to just boom, do your thing.
And if he ends early, you end the show early. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
So, it's good.
You
Fine.
cue the orchestra, and they play, hey, here's the outro music. Diddly-doo.
And then it runs out. Yeah, I agree. Something like that, I think, should see a little bit of change. But beyond that, it was really cool. I was so happy to see Nier Replicant for myself get the best score of music.
Mm-hmm.
It was a surprise to see It Takes Two, as we just talked about, get Game of the Year. I was happy to see Tales of Arise get Best RPG, but like I said, was disappointed that it was just, and Best RPG is Tales of Arise, and then they cut out and it was gone. I mean, it was gone.
I was happy to see Returnal get Action Game, and the dev got to get up on stage for that one, so that was really cool. And Lady D winning Best Performance.
Oh, that was
Neither
so
of us
cool.
picked her.
No.
I feel like
No, I picked her. I did.
I don't think that's right. I think you picked somebody
picked her.
else. You picked something else
picked
going
her.
on. I don't know.
I did it. I picked her. I would have never picked anybody else. Far Cry 6, Life is Strange, Deathloop, Lady D from Resident Evil Village. I'm a winner, Matt.
I feel like, well, in that one, you totally lost to me as usual.
Probably.
But anyway, I was going to say, I think her speech maybe was like the moment of the show, because she seemed really grateful, and everybody took a chance on me, and I was able to show my stuff, and I think that one was really genuine and a good speech. So maybe she's the one from this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the moment. It was super awesome. It was super cool. It was super strange, because everybody was thinking, and I say strange on purpose because everybody was like, well, if Strange is going to get it. And I was like, nah. I just felt it in my bones that Resident Evil had that one. So, and then on top of that, like the Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, I for sure was like, no, they're going to totally wrap up some awards. And they got a couple of them. I was super happy to see that. And of course, you were like, did you even play that game, Brad? I'm like, no, I haven't. And I want to, but I have seen lots of gameplay of it, and it looks freaking amazing.
Fiddlesticks. I've played 3 of those other games, and they're all great games, and I've never played Kenna, so I can't vote for it. But phooey and fi and fee.
So I don't know. I think I'm going to pull out the winner here. I think I'm going to end up being the best of the best on who chose the right stuff for the Game Awards.
No.
I'm real excited about it. Matt, he doesn't think so. He doesn't.
I got the stats right here. It says Matt won. You can't see it because the backdrop thing. There it is.
Yeah.
Look, this.
He's lying. He's making up numbers.
That's what it
He's making
says.
up things.
You don't know.
He's full of it.
It's no time. There's no time for this anyway. We got to talk about awesome things that got revealed regardless.
So that's it. Besides all that, of course, we had to cover it, man. We had to at least talk about it for a second, okay? What's to come? Anything that got you excited? Any games out there coming, Matt, really, for you?
Too many things got me excited. I got a whole sheet. As I always do, I'm making the sound effect with paper. I have a whole sheet of stuff that I wrote down that I either do remember but forgot and rewatched and went, oh yeah, I'm super hyped for this. Or stuff I didn't remember at all and wrote down and went, yeah, I'm super hyped for this. Chorus, I already talked about it. GTFO, I already talked about it. Blood Hunt, I already talked about that. But they front-loaded the show for me, because I'm going to go with the Shining Star. That was, let me see, it was literally the second thing that I wrote down that was revealed. The pre-show went by, cool. Main show came up. I think they showed 1 or 2 things, but then they showed a man standing in front of like a big old drum. And he went just, and he hit that drum. And then a bunch of other people were hitting drums, and there was space, and there were planets, and there was beautiful things. And I went, hey, I'm Star Wars Eclipse. And I went, you're just a CGI trailer. Why should I care? And then the Quantic Dream logo came up. And I lost my mind. My brain leaped out of my head, and it danced around the room, and I threw confetti at it, and I went, yeah, wow, I can't believe it, brain. I love Quantic Dream games. I love David Cage games. I've played every single one of them except for Omicron, the Nomad Soul, which doesn't work on modern systems right now from the playthroughs that I've watched, because I've even watched that being played. I can't wait for it. We know nothing about it. It's super in early development. There's nothing to show other than a CGI trailer, which you know I don't like. But I love Quantic Dream games. I will play every single game they ever put out. This got me so hyped to start the show off. And there were a lot of other hype moments too, but that was the biggest one. They started off, there was the giant drop on the roller coaster. It was the craziest thing, and we went straight into a loop-de-loop. It was amazing.
I'll tell you this. I'm interested. I love Star Wars. Quantic Dreams, I've never played a single Quantic Dreams game in my life. And it's weird to say because I love those story like base games. That's up my alley, but I've just never done it. I don't even know why. I can't tell you why. But because Star Wars is coming, maybe I'll be on board, Matt. Maybe this is where I finally jump in and see what it's all about and get to experience it.
In like 6 years when it finally comes out.
When it finally comes out. You're exactly right. Now, the game for me, since you're starting on your hypest, is my hypest. Alan Wake 2.
Yep.
The second this started playing, I went, Alan Wake. Mm-hmm. And you went, yeah, I'm pretty damn sure it is too. Uh-huh. And sure enough, there it was. Alan Wake 2. It's real. It's coming. Sam Lake and all the boys and girls are all on board. They're doing the thing. All the original actors, etc., are all there. We get to see it again. And then they made it even better. They went, Eric, I know you're happy. I know you're excited, but I really want you to be real happy. We're going full survival horror this time. It ain't going to be adventure, action, survival horror. We're going dark. We're going crazy. And on top of it all, y'all already know it's tied into Control. What's that? That's one of your games you really love too? Yeah, you know it is. And you're going to be even happier because it's tied into it. This universe is coming together in some crazy ways, and you're going to definitively see it when you play Alan Wake 2, which is going to be super dark, super creepy, super weird. I am so on board. I can't wait. But like you said, it's probably not even coming 2022. It's probably coming 2023, and it's probably late 2023 if I had to take a wild stab at this point in time. So, wow, what a tease. But now I've got years of him just waiting in anticipation. It's so sad.
I'm 100% on board with that one, too. You said it. You texted me. I texted you back. We both took a big, giant drink out of celebration. It was fantastic and wonderful. I can't wait to see more of that world. I loved the original story. And then, obviously, I love Control as well. Them tying together, making it weird, making it dark, making it twisted. Seeing my boy Sam Lake, the original Max Payne, was on stage. I got to see him and hear him talk. Fantastic and wonderful. But I'm going to say that was the third hypest moment for me. I was very hyped for that. But then later in the show, I got to see a game I am super looking forward to, but the internet says, it's going to be the worst thing ever. And then they showed gameplay, or at least gameplay trailer bits of Saints Row, the reboot of Saints Row. Mm-hmm. And I watched them go through this one city. And then they went out to the countryside. And then they went through like a glitzy, super glamorous Las Vegas type of city. And I think I texted you and I went, this looks exactly like San Andreas, which I was in the throes of beating and 100% completing. It looks like the Saints Row version of that. You got the 3 different biomes. You got all kinds of crazy stuff. Saints Row always does crazy mini games and side activities and things. This got me so hyped. The original Saints Row trailer, I went, cool, a new Saints Row, and instantly pre-ordered it. If I hadn't pre-ordered it then, I would have pre-ordered it now, because this looked fantastic. I loved it. I can't wait to see more. I'm just sad that now that's been delayed to, I think it was August, what they said. But if they polish it up and they make it shine and they give me all kinds of cool activities, you see him diving and like flying with the wingsuit through the city. You know they're going to have like a race or a checkpoint challenge with that kind of stuff, some kind of optional side mission. I watched that trailer again today and I went, I remember being hyped for this, but now I'm 10 times more hyped because I forgot half of the cool stuff in here.
So that's a cool one. Not for me, but I'm so happy that you're going to be happy playing that one. Arc Raiders was my second most hype moment.
Mm-hmm.
This came out of nowhere. I had no idea this thing existed.
Yeah.
I still don't really know what the hell it is. But man, that choice of music and what they showed me had me super stoked. First off, graphics, everything, and like I said, choice of music was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The night scenes with them having their the flashlights out and they're running, and then all of a sudden they get caught, and all of a sudden these micro missiles are like flying through the air trying to take them out, and they're just juking and jiving and going through all over the place. Meanwhile, it's telling you, hey, you gotta hang out with your friends. You gotta try to stop these things. So it's all about co-op. It looks like. So you're gonna be playing with friends, playing with buddies, trying to take down these enemies. And in some cases, it looks like you're blasting your way through things. In some cases, it looks like you're trying to do like sneaky missions and not get caught. And then all these really weird, unique like robot / monsters that they had on the screen going. But they never tell you really what the hell it's about or what it is. And then, of course, this individual behind this giant monitor kind of monitoring the scenario and situations, giving orders out to you. I am on board. I don't know what the hell this is yet, but this definitely looks like something I want to play. And it definitely went, this could be a game me and Matt could play. Maybe this is it. Maybe this will be a cool Matt Eric game for the Borderlands nights. Oh, I don't know, but really great choice of music. I thought the whole sequence, the whole thing was really put together very well, especially for a game that I don't think a lot of people had heard of before that very moment. So good on them. I look forward to paying attention, seeing where it goes. Probably not coming out for a year or two, maybe even more, who knows, but still stoked.
Yeah, 100% agree. I didn't remember it from the first time going through, but when we mentioned it the day after when we were talking about it, I went and looked it up. I watched that trailer. I got very excited because the giant robot, like insectoid robot type things, it made me think of Earth Defense Force when you're shooting up at the giant robots and you're just a little dude running around and these things are like massively scaled compared to you, and you're taking them on with weapons and then like jumping and dropping things in the vulnerable zone. Fantastic. It just looked like a lot of fun. Like you said, the trailer, the music choice was fantastic. The whole like retro VHS type of vibe that resonates with me so much. I can't wait to play that. I'm definitely playing it for sure. If it's co-op and amazing and we can rock that on Borderlands Nights, then we will be rocking that on Borderlands Nights.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And then I don't know, I have a whole list of stuff, but we're running long as it is.
All right, but one more, Matt, because I want to get one more out, and I'll make it quick, but one more.
All right, one more. I'm going to go with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Oh, good choice.
Because I love Rocksteady. I love all the Rocksteady Batman games. They're all phenomenal. And just the style of this looks like a lot of fun. You know Rocksteady does good action. My one concern with it is I need to see how all these different styles of character are going to mesh together, because King Shark's all melee-based and big slamming and jumping and booming and bashing. It looks like Harley Quinn is like acrobatic and like swinging on ropes and things. Obviously Deadshot, or no, it's Bloodsport. Whichever one of those two shooty guys that it is.
Deadeye, whatever. Yeah.
I think it's Deadshot, but he has the mask on, so I thought it was Bloodsport. Obviously he's all ranged based, so I want to see how they come together and how, if you like choose one for the mission or you hot swap between them. I want to see what that does, because there's such disparate play styles, it looks like. But everything else about it looks phenomenal. I have faith in Rocksteady. They have never
100%.
done wrong. It looked great.
It did look great. That one, I was a complete surprise to me. I was completely disinterested. Then I watched that trailer, and I went, oh, I'll be watching this. I'll be watching this for sure. This looks like a lot of fun. Totally reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which just recently released. Like that kind of just fun, but super serious, crazy stuff going on. Can't wait. I'll be watching for it. And then the last one for me, Matt, Homeworld 3. Okay?
Okay.
This one happened, and I've been itching for years for a space game again, okay? Star Fox style, mind you, okay, to be specific. I just want to play a game where I'm in a ship in space, cruising through, shooting baddies, doing stuff. This is not Homeworld 3.
Nope.
I'm not an idiot. I know what
that's
Homeworld
Chorus.
3 is.
That's Chorus. That's what you should be playing.
Yes, I know. But this felt like the old man in me needed to check it out, because it has some of that. There are space battles, there's things going on, but it's real-time strategy. It's hard to explain. The whole overarching trailer and how it was put together and how they showed you moments of that gameplay, and then how you're going to strategically be doing this and that and having to do that. I was like, this feels good. Something about this feels like I could get into this and I could totally jive with this. It's not typically what I play, as we've always talked about. Homeworld's nothing that me and you have ever been really big into. But something about this trailer made me go, this might be it. This might be the time I actually get into this and check this out and really play it and give it the old good hoorah. So good on you, because I wasn't going to play this. I wasn't going to touch it at all, but this trailer really made it. So I want to give it a shot, and I want to at least pay more attention to it. And maybe if they get a demo out, who knows, whatever the case may be, pick this one up and have a go. Because, Space Eric needs to be Space Eric.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love the trailer and the feel of it and the theme of it, but RTSs are just not for me. I just can't do them. Plus, I'd have to play it on PC, and I don't like PC gaming. But yeah, it did make me hype. And I was like, that looks really cool, but it's not for me. What about you out there in podcast listener land? What is for you? What on this giant list did I not even get to that you are the most excited about? Is it the Cuphead DLC? Because that trailer was so cool and so stylish.
Yeah. Slitherhead, that crazy ass other survival horror that was just really freaky and strange. I don't know.
What about a couple of the indie games that I didn't even have a chance to get because I wanted to say the biggest ones right here? Let us know any of that stuff. Or comments, questions, concerns. If you just want to say hi, let us know. ThirdShiftMe@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftMe, and find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you can find us over there. And also, we're on that little old Patreon where we treat it just like a tip jar. You got $1, $2, $3, any kind of bucks you'd like to throw our way to help keep the lights on, keep the bills paid, keep me drinking these Ice Mountain super expensive waters. You could do that. I'm talking. Yeah, that's big money right there.
63 cents a bottle.
You can indeed do that for us. But if you ain't got money, that's fine. You can support us by, hey, telling us what your favorite things from the Game Awards were. You can talk to us in all sorts of ways, fashions, forums, mailbag questions, etc. All that supports us, all that motivates us and keeps us going. We really do appreciate it. So thank you all.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And stay tuned for that very next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 23rd of December and may or may not be an actual show. Who knows? You'll get something from us because you always do. And Eric's giving me the look like, I just want to not do anything that week. No, you got to do stuff that week. We got to do a Patreon thing that week. Then we got to do a show type of thing that week. It's going to be fantastic. You can find that on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. You don't get to say anything, Eric.
I do, because there's two things we need to say. First off, everybody takes breaks for the holidays except for us. This is ridiculous.
We're the hardest working men in show business.
Don't worry, Steve. We'll talk again. I read your email. It was fantastic. We'll get there, okay? Because you're a fantastic human being, all right?
Absolutely, he is. And hey, as I always say, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. And we appreciate those 5-star reviews, all those individuals who've given them to us. Thank you so very much. And for those of you who haven't, please do. It is the season of giving. And you could give us a 5-star rating. And I highly encourage you to do so. Your star will shine so much brighter if you do. I promise you.
And with that, there's nothing else to say but... Don't forget to say...
Shut up and sit down.